Okay, I love the first response, so let's go to the second one. Seated also with us here today is the representative of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Abayomi Bamidele, the Director, Capacity Building, NCDMB. Okay, this side of the hall is not clapping. So let me introduce him again to this side of the hall. This side of the hall, today we have with us the representative of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Abayomi Bamidele, Director, Capacity Building. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I love your cooperation. Yes, so I want the whole hall to clap. And it seems this place, your clap is even louder. Yes, so people should be clapping more, okay? So let's go to the next person with us here today. Is the General Manager, Integrated Gas Development of First ENP. We have Yetunde Taiwo, Mrs. Yetunde Taiwo. A round of applause for her. Great to have you with us, ma'am. Great to have you with us. And we also have the General Manager, Nigerian Content Development, Renaissance Africa Energy Company. And that is Mr. Olawuyi Olarewaju. A round of applause for him. Great to have you here with us, sir. This competition is not for this Nigerian Engineering Olympiad is looking for young, vibrant minds. And that means it's speaking to the youth of Nigeria. Today, we have the Minister of Youth Development, Honorable Engineer Ayodele Olawande, who today is represented by his technical advisor here in this event. And that person is Mr. Ebiho Agun. A round of applause for him. Oh, Mrs. Sorry about that. Sorry for Mrs. Ebiho Agun. My apologies for that. She's representing the Minister for Youth Development. But before, as we continue in the introductions, there is someone here with us today who attacked me earlier this morning. Immediately I stepped into the hall. He said, "Manfred, you didn't tell me that you used to be one of us." And I told him I was hiding because they threatened me yesterday that they want to take me back. In fact, I remember telling my GM that I ran away from Enactus in UNN. I thought it was, during the induction, they gave us rice. I thought we'll be eating rice and be doing fine parade. They started giving me projects to do. And I was just in second year. Project was for final year. So I have the honor of introducing the country director of Enactus Nigeria, Mr. Michael Ajayi. A round of applause for him. Great to have you with us, sir. And please, Ipu should not send me to UNN. Don't send me. All right. But it's a great pleasure to be standing back on the same podium that I used to stand in the university and I ran away from. Seated on that high table where I've called so many dignitaries, we also still have some other persons there. And I would want to recognize from the NCDMB team, the General Manager, Corporate Communications, and that is Dr. Obinna Izobi. A round of applause for him. And also would want to recognize and we also have with us here today the President Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Engineer Professor Sadiq Zubair Abubakar. I don't know if he's present with us right now. He's not. Okay, when he comes in, he'll be properly recognized. And also, we are supposed to have Engineer Dr. Adebisi R. Osim, the president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN. I'm also being told she's not here yet, but we would have that. But before I continue, I would want to recognize someone whom I've also had the opportunity of working with. He is a manager with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Mofe Megbele. A round of applause for him. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Now, I've been able to establish most of the protocol. We are going to continue with the conversations. But before we do, I would also want to recognize people from other places, guests. Well, I know we have students, right? There are students here, right? There are students here, right? Yes, thank you so much for coming. And we also have the media and so many other persons that are joining us today. And for our guests who are joining us virtually, because I'm being told that we have over 1,000 persons joining online, you're welcome to the official launch of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And this is a defining moment for Nigeria. We will be taking the welcome address for this event, and the welcome address will be given by the representative of the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Engineer Felix Omashola Obe, who is represented here today by the Director Capacity Building, Engineer Abayomi Bamidele. A round of applause for him as he steps forward for this welcome address.
Thank you for clapping. I guess I still need to go through the protocol, even if it's very brief, because it's very important when it comes to the type of support and partnership we've gotten from some of the corporate entities already introduced. So let me start with our protocol before I now go into the speech. Please note, this is the Executive Secretary. This is the Executive Secretary, so I'm representing him, our Principal, Engineer Felix Omashola Obe, a fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. So, Madam President of the NSC, Mrs. Engineer Margaret Oguntala. So thank you for giving me that, how to pronounce that. Pleasure to have you here, madam. Mrs. Yetunde Taiwo from First EMP, we're glad to have you here. Also, Mr. Larry Onlawi from Renaissance, the representative of the Honorable Minister for Youth Development. Thank you, madam, for coming. We appreciate you. And of course, the country director of Enactors. I don't know the adjective to use for you now, but well done for getting us to this point. Mr. Michael Ajayi, the country director of Enactors. My colleagues from NCDMB, thank you for coming, and gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to deliver this welcome address at the 2025 edition of Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. Actually, this is the first edition, and we hope that down the line, it will be something that is regular. If you hear some of the events that has happened over the years, they started from somewhere. So this Olympiad, we believe, is the beginning of greater things to come down the line. The theme of this year is Inspiring Engineering Solution. Inspiring Engineering Solution. It could not be more timely because it reflects the federal government's policy that was recently launched. When you hear, we used to hear American first. And our Mr. President also did what? Started Nigerian first. As you know, we have large population, about 237, depending, between 200 and 250, depending on who you're listening to. That's quite a large number of population. And if you see population as a resource, you don't think 237, what can you get out of that resource? If you even turn it to naira or dollar, 235 million naira or $235 million, what can you do with it? So each and every one of us in this room were like part of that 235. What is coming out? What can we do with that kind of number? It's a lot. And when you focus on what we are trying to do today, to say the focus is on the students who are like the younger generation, the future that we are looking forward to, then you know that we need to do something about them such that what is coming out from that demography is what will help us when it comes to sustainability. So despite this number, we notice that especially in the engineering sector, we have a lot of gaps. So this program is meant to address those gaps. During the panel session, I will have the opportunity to speak more. Engineering graduates lack hands-on. There are some funny videos that you see when you hear, okay, oh, you are reading engineering. Funny videos that you see when you hear, okay, oh, you are reading engineering. Do you know how a lathe machine looks like? Have you seen this equipment before? Have you seen? And people are like, well, no, you can go to YouTube, but the real hands-on, there's a reason it's called hands-on. It's lacking. 70% of engineering graduates. So this gap has significant implications. It contributes to a shortage of competent local engineers, heightens reliance on expatriates, and fuels the brain drain as talented Nigerians engineers seek opportunities outside the country. Luckily, there are several organizations that are taking concrete steps to reverse this trend. So our agency, NCDMB, has implemented a lot of capacity building initiatives to equip young Nigerian engineers with cutting-edge skills across petroleum engineering, digital technology, robotics, and many others. Just about 4 weeks ago, we launched our oil and gas field readiness program. I hope you are aware of it. It went viral. If you've not, please go to our website, social media handles, and register. It is big. In the next 2 to 3 years, the plan is to train 10,000 engineers in that space. 10,000 in the next 2 to 3 years. And the skills we are talking about are not just skills that are, not popular. They are skills that are data-driven, very popular, and they are in high. Go through that training, I bet you the probability that you get a job is close to 90%. In fact, there are some of those skills that as you are finishing, you are not staying in this country. So please, students in the room, oh, well, it's not for students, apologies, let me take that back. If you have graduated and finished, because that's the category we are targeting, this one is for students. But the other one, if you have any colleagues, please let them know that they need to go and register. And it is true because it's within my directorate. The vision of this event, the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, aligns strongly with this mission. So we target to position Nigeria as an engineering innovation hub. I hope you know the difference between innovation and research. I hope maybe Madam will come out. When I got the difference between the two, people just use some buzzwords. Innovation. Do you know what it means? Ability to something that is existing, and you tweak it to become more efficient. When I got that, I sort of sat down, and that's why you see people, even if this maybe microphone, it's innovation that made people not say, why are we using this? We can attach it to my desk and I can walk around. I don't need to be like this. It's somebody that did that innovation. And there's several other type of technology when it comes to people speaking without having to hold something. That's how you do innovation. And at this Olympiad, we'll look for fantastic ideas, not only for new ones, but the ones that can even turn existing things into something better. Look at all these cameras. You can see at times, in some events, they can block you. If somebody can come up with something to say, why are we still using this tripod all over the place and blocking? Is there a way to innovate and do this? That person will be a billionaire. Identifying and developing outstanding undergraduate and postgraduate engineering talent is fundamental. We must build a mechanism that not only recognize excellence in problem solving and technical capacity, but also encourage solutions tailored to Nigerian energy infrastructure, manufacturing, and sustainability needs. Thank you. So we need a solution to this. Batteries failing when somebody is talking. Just do it and you'll be amazed at the reward that will come out of it. So let me go back to the speech. So beyond technical training, we remain committed to strengthening entrepreneurial leadership and innovation competencies to ensure that our engineering graduates can either excel in the workforce or build successful technology-based enterprises. So it's not just only about jobs, you can also start a business. Because this is a competition, yeah? At the end of the day, maybe in like 6 months from now, we're going to get a winner. But all participants are going to really have a platform to showcase their talents. So by creating a competitive innovation pipeline that, one, promotes research and development in engineering and technology. 2, produces employable, industry-ready engineering professionals. 3, fosters entrepreneurship and indigenous innovation. So that innovation is our own, rather than doing copycat. And lastly, it supports Nigeria's energy transition through sustainable engineering solutions. As lead sponsor, we have provided unwavering strategic oversight and guidance to ensure that this initiative is fully aligned with Nigeria's local content objectives. Our commitment remains focused on fostering indigenous participation, strengthening capacity development, and promoting sustainable innovation with our engineering ecosystem. I would like to express my profound appreciation to First EMP. This is from the ES. ES is speaking, not Babadi. First EMP, Renaissance African Energy Company, the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Madam, like I said, this is your brand. It belongs to NSC. And so you need to, what's the word? You need to register the brand and patent it. Don't let anybody take it from you. So NSC and, of course, Enactors Nigeria for their invaluable contribution to the successful planning. That planning is, I can't stress this enough. We've been on this for like months to get to this point. So thank you, Enactors, and all the partners to get us to this point. And, of course, the execution now. This is just the beginning. We are launching. This is not the end of the program. Over, and I believe as we go along, we'll hear all the details about the whole program, how we intend to implement it. Your dedication, expertise, and collaborative spirit have been instrumental in bringing the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad to life. Thank you for your kind attention. It is our pleasure to welcome you to this year's Nigeria Engineering Olympiad. We look forward to an inspiring and impactful experience for all participants. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Director, Capacity Building, representing the Executive Secretary. Let's give him another round of applause as he goes to his seat. I have the pleasure now of recognizing the President of APWEN, who stepped in while Engineer Abayomi Bamidele was speaking. This is Engineer Dr. Adebisi Osim. Let's give her a round of applause. A resounding applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if it was a hidden code, but I'm seeing the women on green. Yes, I'm seeing green. Did you plan it? Well, yesterday was International Men's Day. Some of you didn't know that. I'm just informing you. It was my mom that told me Happy International Men's Day. So, happy belated International Men's Day to the men. But as we continue, I also want to recognize the Deputy Director, Technical Services of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. That is Engineer Aminu Hamisu Kura. I think he's present with us here. A round of applause for him. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, sir. It is great to have NASENI with us. Before we go into the keynote address, some of those persons whose name I have called have messages to send out to not just the participants of this Olympiad, but also to everyone who is seated in this room. And it is with great pleasure that I would want to recognize the First Lady on green to step forward as she gives us the first goodwill message. And that goodwill message will be from the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, who is represented here today by Mrs. Ebiho Agun. A round of applause for her as she comes forward to give us the speech, the goodwill message of the Honorable Minister for Youth Development. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Permit me to stand on existing protocol. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, I convey warm felicitation to the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and partners on this convening. It is a delight to join you today at the launch of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, an initiative of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. I commend you for your unwavering commitment to promoting indigenous talent, strengthening local capacity, and inspiring a generation of innovators who will shape the future of our nation. The Engineering Olympiad stands as a testament to the belief that the ingenuity of Nigerian youth is one of our greatest national assets. At a time when the global economy is driven by science, technology, innovation, and problem solving, this platform provides our young minds with the opportunity to stretch their imagination, deepen their technical abilities, and demonstrate excellence on a national and international stage. For all ideas will determine the pace and direction of our country's advancement, I urge you to seize this opportunity, challenge yourselves, and remain steadfast in your pursuit of excellence. To the organizers, partners, educators, and industry stakeholders who have made this event possible, I offer my commendation. Your investment in our youth is an investment in Nigeria's progress, stability, and competitiveness. As you officially launch the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, I reaffirm the ministry's readiness to collaborate in expanding this platform and ensuring that more young Nigerians across all regions benefit from initiatives that unlock their potential. I wish all participants success and encourage you to approach this Olympiad not just as a contest, but as a gateway to lifelong innovation and leadership. Thank you all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you so much. And that is from the Honorable Minister of Youth Development for Youth Development in Nigeria. And in his words to the young participants of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, you are the heartbeat of what? You are the heartbeat of what? Okay, you see now, if I'm the one that is marking the script, I will go home with my mark. You are the heartbeat of Nigeria's future. And it is good that you keep that in mind, even as you participate. So, thank you once again for that speech, ma'am. Thank you. We move on to the next goodwill message, and this will be coming from the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's make welcome Engineer Aminu Kura. A round of applause for him as he steps forward. And maybe listen again. I could come up with a question, and maybe there's a prize. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, please. Actually, it is my pleasure to be here today in this event. Please permit me to align with the already established protocol. I am standing here before you to represent the Executive Vice Chairman / Chief Executive of National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, Mr. Khalil Suleiman Halilu, who is unavoidably absent here due to an official engagement. I brought greeting from him, and he has asked me to extend his heartfelt congratulations to the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, on this initiative, according to him, represent a significant milestone in fostering innovation, creativity, and excellence among our students across tertiary institutions, paving the way for a higher future for Nigeria's engineering sectors. The Olympiad is not only a platform for showcasing talent, but also an opportunity for the friendly competition, empowering participants to pursue their boundary, learn from one another, and engage in initiative projects that reflect real-world problems. The Executive Vice Chairman also conceptualized this event as germane, being in line with the mandate of the agency, as the agency in recent time come up with a research commercialization grant program. Come up with a research commercialization grant program. This initiative aims at providing a competitive platform for our researchers to commercialize science and engineering, research and innovation in Nigeria, just similar to what this platform we are about to launch. Already, NASENI is having a similar or this kind of platform. We have what you call research commercialization grant program. This has to do with, we also have another program called Delta Ha. Delta Ha is also have another program called Delta Ha. Delta Ha is a program that has to do with young engineers, especially female engineers. That also is a program initiated by the agency to encourage the students, especially female students in engineering, to embrace engineering profession. Therefore, collaboration with institutions like NASENI in the event of this nature will significantly enhance the impact of the initiative. NASENI wealth of experience and commitment to advancing technology and engineering in Nigeria can provide invaluable support and guidance to the participants. Through this initiative, NASENI has received thousands of proposals on commercially viable research products from across tertiary institutions and private sector. which are currently undergoing through screening. As we therefore embark on these exciting adventures, let us cultivate a community that values knowledge, creativity, and unwavering pursuit of excellence. Together, we can empower the next generation of engineers, foster their potential, and equip them with the skills necessary to drive Nigeria's technological development. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. A resounding applause for him, a resounding applause. Thank you so much, sir, for that. Engineer Aminu, thank you so much. And now we would be having the third goodwill message. But before we go that, I actually skipped someone from the introduction earlier, and it wasn't intentional. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of recognizing whom I would rather call my biggest fan in the world. And there's a reason for that. And she never sees me and not greet me with a smile. In fact, when she saw me this morning, said, "Manfred, you've lost weight." I said, "Yes." She said, "Good." She's always telling me to go to the gym. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the manager capacity building, NCDMB, Madam Alexis Emele. A round of applause for her. Thank you so much, ma'am. My apologies for missing you during the introductions. And now we'll be going to the third goodwill message for today. This message is coming from APWEN. And the reason why it is really important to have them is because I remember as a mass comm student, this is a way of saying it, but as a mass comm student, they tell you mass comm is for women. And then what they used to say to us in UNN was mass comm umuwanyi. So once you're in mass comm, they call you umuwanyi as you're a woman. That's what they assume that you are. And they say engineering is for men. So they don't call the girls in engineering girls, they call them men. They call them bros. That's what they refer to them. But today, that is changing. And that is because the dynamics are changing. And we have today with us the president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN. And she will be giving us a good message on behalf of APWEN. Please put your hands together for Engineer Dr. Adebisi Osim. A round of applause, please. Let's keep that applause coming as she steps forward for the goodwill message. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, the organizer of this event, for having me here this morning. But before I proceed, I want to give honor my president, the president of Nigerian Society of Engineers, our own engineer, Margaret Oguntala, FNSC. Our guest speaker of today, Engineer Felix Ogbe, FNSC, ably represented here, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Education, the representative of the MD of NASENI, our sponsor, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, partners in progress, and aspiring students. Good morning. It is my great privilege to be here this morning with immense pride and excitement that as the president of Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, extend my goodwill to the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board on this launch of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. This groundbreaking initiative marks a pivotal moment in our nation's journey towards fostering indigenous engineering talent, solving critical challenges, and driving industrial growth. On behalf of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, I commend NCDMB and its partners, including the Nigerian Society of Engineers, our own, Resonant African Energy Company Limited, First E&P Development Company Limited, Enatos Projects Limited, and the Engineering Olympiad across Nigerian University and Polytechnics for this visionary collaboration. Together, we are not just launching an event, we are igniting a spark that will illuminate the future of engineering in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a young girl from rural community in Delta State tinkering with broken radios in our backyard and dreaming of building bridges that connect our village to the world. That girl could be the next innovator of revolution, renewable energy solution to our own oil-rich, power-challenged nation. The Nigerian Engineering Olympiad is precise, the platform that turns such forward. Register and let your idea propel Nigerian forward. In closing, at the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, we stand ready to support this Olympiad every step of the way. Let's celebrate this launch as the beginning of a more inclusive, innovative era of Nigerian engineering. May this event be a resounding success, inspiring generation to come. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mel. Another round of applause for Engineer Dr. Adebisi Osim. Don't wait for permission. Do what? Oh, a round of applause for our president. She got it right, spot on. Don't wait for permission. Step forward. Step forward. No, you know, if your phone rings, that's when it's $5,000. It's when your phone rings, man. Okay, I will not ask question again. I won't. And actually, we are now supposed to move to the keynote address. And this keynote address will be delivered by our very intelligent and hardworking and result-oriented president of the Nigeria Society of Engineers. With a resounding applause, ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome the president of the Nigerian Society.
I'd like to start by recognizing the people who have made this dream come true. And then I'll tell you a short story of how we started. I'd like to recognize the Executive Secretary of NCDMB, our own Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbi, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, who is ably represented here today by the Director of Capacity Building, my capacity fellow, Engineer Abayomi Bamidele, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, the General Manager, First Year and P, Mrs. Yetunde Taiwo, the General Manager, Nigerian Content for Renaissance Africa, Mr. Olanrewaju Olawuyi. It's an engineer, really, Engineer Olanrewaju Olawuyi. My apologies for that, please. The representative of the Minister for Youth Development, who is the technical advisor, Mrs. Ebio Agu. You're welcome, ma, and thank you for that goodwill message. The country director, Enactors Nigeria. Thank you for all that you have done to make this day a reality. Very distinguished guests here present. This dream actually started during the Nigerian Oil and Gas Conference of 2024. I sat next to Engineer Ama Ikuru, who was Director of Corporate Services of NCDMB at the time. And we started talking about what we could do together. Before then, we had put forward a program that we wanted the NCDMB to sponsor, and that was a training of about 10,000 Nigerian engineers. And then we started that discussion. And, you know, got enactors involved, got the buy-in, complete buy-in of NCDMB, and then we started shopping for funders. And then we got First EMP and Renaissance Africa for engineers. Vice President, Asset Management, Engineer Rachel Ugie. President, Asset Management, Engineer Rachel Ugie, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. We also have here National Executive Council members, Engineer Professor Olumide Ogundipe, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. He is the ESCO member in charge of Engineering, Technology, and Innovation Management. We have here ESCO member Collaboration and Linkages, Engineer Diabu Tijani, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. And ESCO member Corporate Services, Engineer Dauda Musa, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. We also have the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Society of Engineers here present. We have some of our directors here. So that's for you to know how important this event is to us. So now I'll go to my keynote address. Distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this auspicious occasion, a watershed moment on the history of engineering education in our dear country. Today's event marks a critical new chapter in linking academia with industry. The Nigerian Society of Engineers is proud to be a key stakeholder in this epoch-making initiative. We warmly acknowledge and commend our funding partners, the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Renaissance Africa Energy Company, First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company, and Enactors Projects Limited, for their commitment to this vision. Their support has made it possible for the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad to offer not just a platform for innovation, but also tangible rewards. Engineering, the bedrock of development. The engineering profession remains the bedrock of human development, and nations that have advanced through engineering have done so by being intentional and strategic about it. The NEO is envisioned as a platform for similarly intentional engagement, a catalyst to reinvent engineering innovation in Nigeria. Over the years, the engineering students have proposed intelligent inventions as final year projects, yet there has been little deliberate effort to translate those concepts into viable products and services. Too often, brilliant ideas end up gathering dust on library shelves instead of powering small and medium-scale enterprises. A narrative that the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad is designed to change by providing a structured pathway to carry academic innovations beyond the university, nurturing them into real-life solutions that can drive economic growth and social development. Reinventing innovation, the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. As the foremost engineering professional body, the Nigerian Society of Engineers believes that ideation, that's the birth of new ideas, is critical for professional development and community impact. Every great invention in history began with one single idea. All the transformations humanity has seen, from the steam engine to towering skyscrapers to electricity, the internet, and lately, artificial intelligence, all started as ideas acted upon. Ideas do shape the world. The power of ideas in transforming societies cannot be overemphasized. Indeed, great nations have stood on the shoulders of men and women of ideas to advance growth and development. Nigeria is brimming with such creative minds in our universities today. In our quest to turn the corner of technological development as a nation, the NEO offers a dynamic platform for students to unleash their innovative capacity. It is a collective effort to create an environment where ideation can truly thrive. This means providing for all the requirements needed to transform a concept into a market-ready solution, including 1, financial viability. That's ensuring the idea can attract investment and be sustainable. 2, prototype development and testing, building preliminary models and trying them out. 3, iterative refinement, continuously improving the design based on feedback. 4, detailed design and engineering, developing detailed technical specifications. And 5, product validation, confirming the solution works reliably and meets standards. And last but not the least, intellectual property protection, safeguarding the innovation through patenting. With the support of each of these stages, with support at each of these stages, the NEO can serve as a launchpad for translating academic knowledge into viable homegrown engineering products and solutions. Spanning 10 months, the Olympiad will progress through regional contests, mentorship phases, prototype development boot camps, and the national grand finale by April 2026. The original plan was for 10 months, but we have compressed it to about 7 months. By then, we expect participating teams to have refined their projects to world-class standards. The best ideas will earn not only recognition, but also seek excellence and preparing our young engineers for global competitiveness. Excellence and preparing our young engineers for global competitiveness. Indeed, access to the right tools can unlock students' creativity and problem-solving potentials. We expect new participants to take full advantage of these tools as they develop their solutions. The NSC and its partners are not only challenging our youth to dream big, we are also empowering them to achieve those dreams. Initiatives like the NEO, combined with capacity building efforts such as the Midas IT, software donation, affirm that the NSC is at the forefront of developing engineering in Nigeria. We are intent and deliberate on creating deliberate pathways for our young innovators to move from classroom concepts to real-world applications in this era of the 4th industrial revolution. Mentorship, collaboration, and national impact. It is imperative for all stakeholders, from government agencies to academia, and from industry leaders to the media, to pay very close attention to the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. This Olympiad is a game changer that demands the commitment, encouragement, and active participation of all. We call on the media to give extensive coverage to every phase of the Olympiad as a matter of national duty. The story of Nigerian ingenuity and innovation deserves to be told widely to inspire the next generation and to attract greater support for innovative ideas. We also urge our government and policymakers to support such initiatives so that the new and similar programs can thrive. On the part of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, along with our partners and working groups, our dedication to this cause will be unparalleled. We will offer the expertise of our members through all the critical stages of the Olympiad, from initial project screenings and evaluations, through the technical mentorship program, and into the intensive boot camp for business development. We have a pool of experienced engineers and subject matter experts who would mentor the students and their faculty advisors before the grand finale, ensuring each team benefits from real-world guidance. Through this structured mentorship and active knowledge sharing, we will equip the next generation to lead the engineering profession with vision, competence, and excellence. This is a continuation of our tireless commitment to the growth, empowerment, and advancement of engineering in Nigeria. A commitment that the NSC has renewed over the past 24 months. We trust that the deans and directors of engineering faculties nationwide will lend their full support to the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. The coming months promise to be exciting, as regional and national contests showcase the ingenuity of our engineering students and their mentors. Participants can rest assured that the NEO has been thoroughly designed and benchmarked against the highest global standards. In conclusion, once again, I extend sincere appreciation and congratulations to the organizing partners, sponsors, and all stakeholders on this launch. And I do congratulate everyone who is here today to witness the launch. This event speaks volumes about the determination of Nigerians to elevate the regime of ideas for technological advancement. Today, we ignite a spark that will light the way for Nigeria's engineering future. The representative of the minister also said that. The innovations born from this Olympiad could become solutions that drive our industries, improve our infrastructure, and uplift our communities in the years to come. And to all the brilliant students who will participate, I say, this is your moment to dream, innovate, and excel. The Nigerian Society of Engineers and the entire nation are here to support you. Remember that every great achievement begins with an idea and the courage to pursue that idea. We cannot wait to see the groundbreaking ideas which you bring forth. Thank you all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's keep the applause. Let's keep the applause going. Thank you so much. That is the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aina. A round of applause for her, please. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And as we continue, I would want to recognize the Deputy Director, National Universities Commission, NUC, who is present with us right now, Mr. Abraham Chudunsu. Please, a round of applause for him. Great to have you with us, Director. Great to have you with us. Enactus, not a name that is usually heard in certain spaces. And like I said earlier, when I joined Enactus in the university, I joined because it was glamorous. What I was seeing from afar was glamorous. I didn't know they were doing projects. And yesterday, when I came into this hall, I remember speaking with Raf, one of the organizing committee members, and I told him, when they were telling me to come for this event, they said it's just a launch. Because I saw the cameras they were bringing from their road cases. I was seeing Canon. I said, people did not tell me these plenty cameras were coming. And one thing we know that Enactus always stands for is excellence in delivery. And that was what Rab said to me yesterday. He says, we have to deliver excellently. And to tell us how excellently the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad will be executed is the country director, Enactus Nigeria, Mr. Michael Ajayi. Let's give him a round of applause as he steps forward to give us the implementation strategy of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. A round of applause. Please keep the applause. Give the applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And good morning again, everyone. Permit me to align with the established protocols. As has been said, my name is Michael Ajayi. I have the honor of leading the Enactus program in Nigeria. Enactus is an international nonprofit in 33 countries around the world. So it's an honor to lead the team in Nigeria. And indeed, it's a great honor to be here today. Like our keynote speaker, the NSC president, said earlier on that she said a story. I also have an interesting story before I delve into the meat of the matter, right? And I recall, and the story is aligned with hers, I recall that indeed this Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, the conversations around it started really over about a year or a little over a year ago. And I recall having a telephone conversation with Dr. Ama Ikuru, who called me. He said, Michael, we have to do this. And that's how I started the conversation. And I'm like, what are we doing? And he said, we've been talking about, prior to this time, we've implemented certain projects with the NCDMB. And then he said, we have to do this. And I was like, what are we doing? He said, something similar to that. It was called the Science and Technology Innovation Challenge at the time. I said, something similar to that, only bigger this time. And he said, we need to meet. So I met him, and we discussed. And then I went to meet the keynote speaker today in our office with a plan to say, okay, this is what is going to happen. Does this meet your expectations? She was like, yes. And then the story began. And from then, we met with different stakeholders. I remember spending 2 days at the NCDMB office in Lagos, meeting with different stakeholders, and all the stakeholders have a lot of energy. But I remember when I met with Mrs. Taiwo at First EMP, I had to go and meet her and her colleagues, and we spoke about it. And I was taken aback with your simplicity and how you embraced it almost immediately. So thank you. And for us as actors, we believe that real impact, the kind of impact that will transform a people, and I'm not talking 5 people, 10 people, I'm talking nations, okay? That sort of impact can only mostly be achieved when you have very effective multi-sectoral partnerships that includes the private sector, the public sector, or the government, if you will, and the social sector. These 3 sectors play very important roles in curating the kind of program that will transform a nation or a people. And this is important because while the government has the goodwill and the nationwide infrastructure to bring, you also have that the private sector has its professionalism, processes, systems, and funding, right? And then you also have the nonprofit who has local intelligence, understanding the local nuances that can prevent that program from succeeding, and understanding how to manage those nuances and bringing it all together. But one of the key ingredients that the nonprofit also provides, or the social sector provides, is the passion and commitment to deliver on it excellently. So this gathering or this partnership is evident of how we can leverage the strengths of each of these sectors in birthing something that can truly become transformational. And our hope is that it will be just as impactful as we have believed it will be. And the impact will be transcend just individuals, but it will transform systems, transform even industries, all right? And we believe that that will set us on the path to glory, even as a nation. So it is my honor to now talk about a little bit about what the implementation will look like. I know that there are lots of press people in the room who are interested to know how it will be implemented and possibly even the timelines. I understand that there are a lot of people online that are watching, particularly young people across the country. So in the next few minutes, I'll be sharing a little bit about the plan, what the program is about really. So let me start by acknowledging all our partners. These are great partners from NCDMB, First EMP, Renaissance, the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Without these organizations here, this dream would not have seen the light of day. So what is this program? A lot has been said about it already, but in quick summary, the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad is an integrated entrepreneurship and engineering development program, right, that is targeted at our young people, particularly engineering undergraduates in their final year and those in postgraduate studies. And the overarching objective really is about how do we foster creativity and innovation and entrepreneurship, amongst students of tertiary institutions across the country. And we want to do this by challenging them to conceptualize ideas and produce new innovations and devices that solve problems, not only for people, but also for industry. Someone spoke earlier on about the gaps in engineering, particularly how our young engineers graduate from schools and they are not really ready for the engineering world. So how do we put them along that path? And speaking now about some other objectives, but I'll just run through this. What we're seeking to achieve with this is really about changing the mindsets of the engineering students from studying to pass exams. There are a lot of students in this room now, and I bet you that a lot of them study to pass. But here we're saying, while it's good to pass, will you also really understand it and be able to apply the engineering knowledge that you have in creating solutions? You know, when I was growing up, I was told that engineers are problem solvers. So by this, we want to challenge them to begin to apply that engineering knowledge to solve problems. Also, we want to be able to create an active entrepreneurship pipeline, right, that allows engineering students to come out of the universities or polytechnics, as the case may be, knowing that if they can only dream and innovate and come up with a unique solution, that solution can become a product, you know, or service that creates jobs and generates wealth for themselves and for the nation, as it were. Now, jumping quickly to the timeline, to the different implementation stages, you'll find that what is happening today is really call for application. Beyond the media engagement, beyond the launching, the key highlight of today's activity is the call for application. So that is taking place already today. Right after this, we'll get into the screening elements of the whole journey. And the screening is in different stages on its own. And so we'll start with what we call the intra-school competition. This intra-school competition allows us to identify the most outstanding innovation that is relevant, that is realistic, that is scalable with potentials to become profitable as a business per university. The most outstanding of them will be selected. So even if we have 100 applications from University A, it is that singular one that stands out the most that will be selected from that particular university, right? So the first level of screening is intra-school competitions to identify the one innovation per university. And then the second level is now at a regional level. So if that one institution, if the institutions in a particular region, the best innovations in each university or tertiary institution in a particular region will be brought together. So for instance, we'll take Southwest, for instance. So we have the best innovation from Unilag, the best from Blaspotech, the best from Covenant University, and the like other universities there. We collect all those from the Southwest, and then they are reviewed over a period of time, and we identify the 5 most outstanding in that particular region. These 5 most outstanding in that particular region will then be paired up with technical mentors, and this is where the NSC and hopefully NASENI will also play a role, wherein professionals in the different areas that the students or the applicants have strengths will be paired together so that that professional will be able to guide them per what they are doing, right? And so that technical mentorship takes place, and during this mentorship, the idea or innovation that they had generated initially, they will be required to now create a prototype for that. And this prototype has to be functional. So for them to do this, obviously they are going to receive some grants for them to be able to develop this prototype. So if the applicant has said that, oh, we are going to create a robot. Our innovation is one robot that will transform the medical space, for instance, we will need them to now create that prototype, functional prototype, not 3D designs, and show us practically how these robots will operate and solve that problem. So the technical mentorship will enable them to do this, and once they have created a prototype that is now functional, they will be invited to what we call the regional competition. And that is the third level of screening. At the regional competition, we will have the 5 per region making a presentation before a panel of judges who will review again and determine the 2 most ranked innovations that have the best potentials of becoming a business that are solving real problem, whether for individuals or for the industry, and are relevant today, will remain relevant in the future, and are scalable as well. Those 2 innovations will move on to the next level of the challenge. And this is where they get exposed to business development experts who serve as mentors. At this level, you have already established your innovation to be outstanding. So now we want to now introduce entrepreneurship to it, to say, okay, this innovation that you have, how do we now make this a business that thrives and succeeds? At this point, they will be pulled into a boot camp, a 2-week boot camp, during which business development experts will work with them. And part of the goal is that each innovation will develop, or the participants will create a bankable business plan for each of the innovation at the end of the boot camp. This boot camp is a very critical part of the challenge. At this point, we will have 12 innovations. Each innovation will be represented by maximum of 3 people forming a team. That means we'll have 36 young people in the boot camp. One of the goals is to ensure that, because not everyone is going to emerge as a winner, not everyone is going to get the cash prize to go and invest in their business, but to ensure that all those ones who make it to this level have capacity development experience that ensures that, irrespective of the overall outcome of this challenge, as per who eventually won, that everyone takes something away that they can apply, whether in the exact same innovation that they submitted or for any other business that they may want to come up with, and succeed at it. That is why this business development mentorship is very critical to the program, because it prepares them to succeed beyond the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And then, once this is done, it takes us to the next level. Okay. IT, can you just help me move the slides? This, from the business development mentorship, will go straight to the last level of screening. Recall that at the business development mentorship period, we will have 12 of them. So at this level, the screening level 4 will reduce that to 4. And it is the 4 that will be presented to the world at the end of the day in what we call the grand finale. Next slide. Okay, great. So at the next level, the grand finale, the grand finale will be a similar event as this, just a much bigger one. Hopefully it will be in Lagos and not in Abuja. Hopefully it will be in Lagos. But the idea is that at this point, we will be showcasing to the world the final 4 innovations that have gone through this program, and tell the world why they have emerged and the kind of transformation we expect them to make at that event. And that technically closes out the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. But behind the scene, there will be a lot of work going on to help incubate not just these 4, but the entire 12 that made it to the boot camp initially. So In a nutshell, this is what the implementation looks like, and it's going to run through till April, May of 2026. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Now, for those of us that have questions in our minds, I'm sure those questions on how the Olympiad will be organized have been answered. Have they been answered? Is it clear how this process will go? Is it clear? And we are not responding. Yes. Did he way they explain? Clear? 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 You know, when you land in Port Harcourt Airport, I love that thing they do now in Port Harcourt Airport. You hear, dun dun. The flight we just land now. Eric Airpiece, I love that thing they do. So I just wanted to be sure whether people need Port Harcourt Airport style. All right? It is my privilege as well now to recognize a few persons who have been with us for a while, but unfortunately I couldn't recognize them. My apologies. We have, and they are sponsors that keep to their words. So you need to know as well that whatever has been said here will definitely be done. However, as they say, it's always good to hear from the horse's mouth. And I'll tell you why. A short, very short story. Yesterday evening, getting into Abuja, the pilot, we were still very high. Pilot now said, "Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I might have an important announcement." I say, "I beg you." He said, "They are not going to allow us to get into Abuja airspace." I say, "Okay." He said, "Because they are sanitizing the airspace." Pilot now told us that he does not know what that thing means. That he doesn't know what the meaning of sanitizing an airspace. Me, that is a passenger. Pilot is telling us that he does not know what air traffic control is telling him that they are sanitizing airspace. Everybody in the plane shouted, "Hey!" He said, "But I will get back to you people shortly." Why am I saying this? This morning I was speaking with a colleague who was on that same flight. What I was saying and what he was saying were two different things. What he then told me was I was asleep. Oh. So it is always good. Now, what I told him was something different from what the pilot said. Now, if you had not been on that flight and I said the pilot said that they were attacking people, sure you will say that I said the right thing now. So it's always good to hear from what the horse's mouth. It's always good to get the information directly from the source. We landed in Abuja, that's why you can see me here today, okay? Now, I will want to call on some of the sponsors of this Olympiad, and we would want to hear from them as they give us their remarks. And let's not forget our ground rule number 3, which is to give a round of applause whenever any person is called up here to give a speech. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for the first remark by a sponsor, please let's make welcome the General Manager, Integrated Gas Development of First E&P, Mrs. Yetunde Taiwo. A round of applause for her as she steps forward.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. You're doing a great job, I must say. I need to give protocol to whom protocol is due, so I will start by, in no particular order, acknowledging the representative of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Development, Engineer Abi Abu, and my brother and colleague, who is representing the Executive Secretary of NCDMB, Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbe, Engineer Bamidele, Director Capital Capacity Development. My colleague, who was tossing with me whether he would go first or not, Engineer Olanrewaju Olawiyi, who is the General Manager, Nigerian Content Development for Renaissance. President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, it's a pleasure meeting you, ma'am. Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala. Country Director of Enactors, Engineer Michael Ajayi, thank you for sharing the roadmap on the implementation for the Nigerian Energy Engineering Olympiad. President of APWEN, Engineer Adebisi Osim, the media, and a population which I think we need to recognize this afternoon. And these are my colleagues, my young colleagues that I call them back in my office. These are the future engineers and the purpose for which we are all here. So I say a good afternoon to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today at the official launch of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And it's an initiative that celebrates innovation, it celebrates courage, and the promise of a brighter future for our country. And so on behalf of First Exploration and Production Development Company, First EMP, which I represent, I would like to thank all the stakeholders who have made this possible. And these include NCDMB. It also includes our fellow partners, NSC, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Renaissance Company, and the vision that we've all created in this important platform. A lot of you may not know who First EMP is, who I represent. First EMP is a leading exploration and production energy company in the offshore area of Nigeria. And we started operations in 2012. And since then, we've built a very strong focused business in Nigeria. We operate 2 mining licenses, PML 5354, and then 3 prospecting licenses, PPL 275, 276, and 277. I don't want to sound too technical, but we are operators of licenses that generate oil. Today we make about 60,000 barrels of oil per day. And so we are still expanding our footprint. We are moving into gas exploration. Very soon, I mean, you will hear the big things we are doing in the gas space. Not too long ago, we signed a gas sales agreement with NLNG to supply gas, basically to start contributing to the energy deficit that we have in the country. And so through our robust portfolio of social investments, we focus on health, we focus on education, we focus on enterprise development, and we are creating a better, sustainable future for the country and even the communities in which we operate. And so this Olympiad touches home for us because innovation is really the bedrock of what has made the company, First EMP, very successful in our operations. Since we started operations in 2012, we have become the first company in the Nigerian offshore where we have deployed a new or innovative way of drilling and producing. There's a conductor-supported platform, which really we have introduced into the industry. And it's becoming, you know, a template for a lot of offshore operators. So as a forward-looking energy company, we believe that innovation will drive the next level of development and breakthrough in technology, not only for First EMP, but for Nigeria's energy and industry at large. I mean, if I ask today what are our greatest challenges in this country, you will mention security. You mention infrastructure, okay? You mention energy poverty. So when we think of the challenges we face in the industry and the collaboration we would have with this Olympiad, those are the kind of results that we believe that these bright minds will help us unlock. And I'm glad that First EMP is part of this collaboration, because we expect that the commitment we have put into by sponsoring will yield the results that the energy industry really needs for the country. So we are very proud to be part of the Nigerian Energy Olympiad. It's a platform that is designed to identify and empower the next generation of Nigerian engineers who will shape the nation's future. So by seeking them quite early and tying them to the challenge that we see in industry, to go a long way in developing a new breed of brilliant professionals who would help address the evolving needs of the energy sector. It also will provide a bridge between the classroom learning, I think Engineer Oguntala mentioned that, and the practical problems that need to be solved. I mean, if I use myself as an example, as a young engineer, when I came out from the university, I thought I was the most brilliant person ever. But starting to work, I saw that there was a gap. It was almost like I was going back to the drawing board. All the principles, everything I had learned had to be practicalized. If I had done that much earlier, I'm sure I would have leapt right into the workforce and been able to contribute more effectively. So we see that bridge between the academia and the industry being closer by the initiative of this Olympiad, and we at First EMP are very supportive of this. And so the decision to support this Olympiad aligns with our commitments in First EMP to education, to enterprise development, and these are the two key pillars of our social performance strategy. And so, as a proudly Nigerian company, First EMP is delighted to stand beside our partners in championing this vision. To all the young and brilliant minds who are part of, or who will be part of this Olympiad, I can tell you for a fact that what has brought you here, or this far, is not what's going to take you to the next level. So you need to be innovative. You need to think outside the box. You need to be creative. You need to dream big. And that will be the key to unlocking some of the challenges that we see in the country today. So dream boldly, innovate courageously, use your skills to create solutions that matter. And in conclusion, I would like to commend all the stakeholders again, in actors championing it as well. This is an important initiative for us in First EMP and for the country at large. And we reaffirm First EMP's commitment to supporting the efforts that will unlock Nigeria's brilliant minds for national transformation. It is not just a competition. It is not. We are sowing into an investment for the future. And so that's the mindset in First EMP that we have about this Olympiad. And clearly all our stakeholders will agree with us that it is not about a competition. It's about creating a future that works and sustainably, resolve some of the issues we have in the country. So thank you very much, and we'll continue with the program.
Please, let's keep the applause coming. Keep it. Thank you so much, Madam Yetunde. And we'll be moving to the second remark by the sponsors. And before I call on Renaissance Africa Energy Company, Mr. Olanrewaju, the General Manager, Nigerian Content, to come forward, I want to recognize his colleague who came with him as well, the Manager, Nigerian Content at Renaissance Energy Company, Mr. Kenechukwu Akabwe. Great to have you with us, sir. Great to have you with us, sir. My apologies for the delay in the recognition. And also, I want to recognize...
Good afternoon, everybody. I can't hear the response. Thank you. Permit me to adopt the already well-established protocols, so I won't repeat that. I'll just go straight. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Renaissance Africa Energy Company. At Renaissance, our vision is very simple: to be Africa's leading energy company, enabling energy security and industrialization in a sustainable manner. My colleague Yetne just told you about some of the problems you could name is facing our country. Security, infrastructure, energy poverty. Renaissance will solve the third one, energy poverty. That's one of the things we set out to solve. At Renaissance, we believe very strongly in Nigeria. In fact, if you look at the bulletins that you have in front of you, we have a word there. Rooted in Nigeria, built for Africa. With our population of about 250 million, we believe we have an opportunity not just to turn around Nigeria, but to impact Africa very differently. And I'm sure you all agree to that. We are not just here by mistake. At Renaissance, our people are our biggest resource. We believe that energy resource is good, but people make things happen. You may have heard our story. We started up in March, and a few months after, our production almost doubled. It's because of the people we have. And that's one reason we are part of the Engineering Olympiad. We believe in people, and people make things happen. We believe that people in Nigeria can make Nigeria different. Second, there is also the Olympiad. There is a natural nexus with our drive for human capital development. In Renaissance, we believe in investing in people. Not just the people that work for us and in our organization, but believe in Nigeria and to do this across board. We have a couple of initiatives I'd just like to drop on the table for you. You could visit our website and kind of learn more about them. We have what we call the Cradle to Career, how we take people from primary schools and take them up through secondary schools so that we can give them an opportunity to go to school, educated, and be part of the workforce that contribute to in-country development. We also have the scholarship that we offer for undergraduates. Undergraduates across the country, we have a scholarship scheme that we announce every year to give people an opportunity to partake and to get a university education. Over and above that, we provide what we call the Niger Delta Postgraduate Scholarship. It's an opportunity we give to people in the Niger Delta to go to the United Kingdom to get educated, and it's in engineering and STEM, such that we are able to contribute and give back into that area of society. These, along with a number of internship opportunities that we provide, is to make sure that we give young people in Nigeria the best possible head start that will allow them to be part of the workforce and to be very, very useful Nigerians, and that's part of why we are part of this Olympiad. Finally, I'd like to add and say a big thank you to all the students who are going to participate in this. We encourage you, seize the opportunity with passion. Like the president of NSC said, please don't just make this about just being a part of just an initiative. Take it boldly, seize it with passion, and let's see where this takes you. I'm sure out of this Olympiad, we will be seeing people standing on the podium come April or May, like Michael said, who will be shining light in Nigeria and will be able to give back to the industry. A special thank you also to Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Please, can we appreciate NCDMB? Special recognition. We remain partners to Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, the board as we call them, and we are committed to working with them to grow local content and Nigerian capabilities. Of course, special thank you to enactors and our co-sponsors, and of course, last but not the least, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please, a round of applause for our president. In closing, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's here today, and we look forward to your sustained contribution towards this Olympiad, and hopefully we look forward to seeing you come April or May next year. Thank you very much. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let's keep the round of applause coming. Let's keep it coming. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Engineer Olawiyi Olarewaju, thank you so much. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, okay? We're not doing 20 push-ups. What we are going to do is we're going to stretch, okay? We're going to stretch, okay? We're going to stretch. Can you see me? I know I am vertically challenged, but I'm sure you should be able to see me. Can you see me? Can you see me? If you cannot see me, ask your neighbor, what is he doing? Okay? So, raise your right hand up, your right hand up, your right hand up. Okay? Just your right hand. And let's bend this way to your left. Bend to your left. To your left. With your right hand up, bend to your left. Yeah, as far as you can take it to. As far as you can take it. All right. Ease it in, ease it in, ease it in. Now raise the left hand. Raise the left hand, and now let's move it. Let's move to the right, move to the right, move to the right. I'm seeing some engineers going to the left. Move to the right. All right, ease it in. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you so much. A round of applause for yourself for being wonderful, wonderful co-gym and exercise partners. And I want to recognize with us here today again the supply chain management manager of First E&P engineer Boyega Akintola. Please, a round of applause for him. Great to have you join us, sir. A round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. This panel session will be moderated by a man whom I told until we find out where he will remain, someone that I've known before today. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the panel moderator who will be handling the next 30 minutes of this program. A round of applause for Mr. Victor Akinfala. A round of applause for him. A big round of applause, a big round of applause, a big round of applause. He's been up and about since yesterday till this moment. Great to have you.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. This program is more or less like a dream come true for me personally, because I'm always of the opinion or a philosophy that no nation can develop beyond the quality of its human capital. And interventions like these exposes the Nigerian human capital to opportunities to scale, to grow, and to also, in the spirit of fair trade or fair competition, have the opportunity to check the quality of their innovation and match it with global standard. And as many speakers have spoken already, there is so much human capital in Nigeria begging for the opportunity or the kind of exposure that is required, okay, to help them scale and succeed. So once again, I want to thank every participant and most importantly, the partners and sponsors of this program. Please give all of them a round of applause, please. So in order not to waste our time, I want to bring our panelists out. They've been carefully chosen from among the partners. And coming off stage is the head of social performance. And please, when I call their names, kindly give them a round of applause because they all needed it, although they don't need it, but let's support them. Is that okay? All right. So I want to invite the head of social performance at First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company Limited, a result-driven social performance expert with strong experience in community engagement, conflict management, and sustainable development within the oil and gas sector. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Aye Batonye Basso. They said ladies first, so you're welcome. Yeah. Yes. Just take a seat. Thank you. All right. The next person is a distinguished fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and is a leader with a strong record of professional excellence in aviation, engineering consultancy, and human capital development. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Engineer Bolaniran Akinribido, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome, sir. The next is a social performance and social investment manager with Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited. He's a goal-oriented social impact mitigation and corporate social responsibility specialist with over 27 years of oil and gas industry experience, specializing in sustainable development, social performance, corporate social responsibility, non-technical risk integration, and local content. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Mr. Emmanuel Ayim. You're welcome, sir. And finally, the big fish. He's a seasoned engineer with over 25 years of experience in manufacturing oil and gas. He's previously served as the Director of Project Certification and Authorization, ensuring strict compliance within Nigerian content requirements, and earlier as General Manager Strategy, Special Project and Transformation, where he successfully drove the Nigerian content 10-year strategic roadmap and the board's commercial ventures. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Engineer Abayomi Bamidele, Director of Capacity Building at NCDMB. You're welcome, sir. Please give them a round of applause once again. Local skills and capacity, promoting the use of Nigerian goods and services, and also ensuring that industrialization benefits the country. So please tell us, what is the drive, and how does the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad enables you to achieve that goal, sir?
Hello, mic check. Thank you. Yeah, once again, good afternoon. It's been a pleasure. How many minutes do I have for this? 2, 3, 3 minutes. Okay, so I'll try and make it very happy. When it comes to local content practice, there are 6 things we look out for anywhere globally. You check for the regulatory environment, whether the laws are in there to support the practice of local content. You do gap analysis, i.e., where are you now, where do you want to be? You check for funding, because local content is not free. You need to provide funding to make it happen. You do R&D, which is very important. You build capacity, whether it's in infrastructure or human, you need to do that. And lastly, number 6, you need to have access to the market. When it comes to Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, it touches on 2 key areas, R&D and capacity building. The idea to provide this platform for our students, for that to look at our project since I left it there, year in, year out, it always happens. So we believe this platform is a great one for us to bring to the fore those great ideas that have been discussed within our university campuses, so that there is opportunity for people to see what they can do to mature them to a bigger scale.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for that answer. Basically, we all know if we pass through the 4 walls of the tertiary institutions, at the end we are required to write a project, and many of us could remember what we did in our final year, and some of those things are very novel, and we feel that if there are opportunities to actually scale them, it will have been probably big businesses today, So that is it. And all over the world, many things we're using today, whether on the IT or at the manufacturing, are basically coined out of researches from the university. So it's amazing that you mentioned on that, and thank you very much for that answer. And I'm glad that NEO is solving that problem. So thank you very much once again, sir. Mr. Anyim, your organization is a leading integrated energy company committed to advancing energy security and industrialization across Nigeria and African continent through sustainable and innovative solutions. So what made the organization choose to co-found the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad?
Good afternoon. Okay. Thanks, Victor. And for us, the decision to co-found the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad was driven largely because the vision of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad aligns very well with our vision, especially when it comes to human capital development. capacity building. We're particularly inspired by the vision of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application, especially when it comes to engineering disciplines. So for us at Renaissance, for over 60 years, education has remained one of our top social investment activities. And to date, we pride ourselves in being the only company within the industry that maintains a department that looks at university liaison. So that desire to bridge theory and practice is what motivates us to maintain a university liaison department to bridge the gap between industry and academia. Currently, we have about 3 centers of excellence that we fund in 3 different universities across Nigeria. We also fund several professional chairs in different engineering disciplines and environmental disciplines. So the main driver for us was the firm alignment between the objectives of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad and our goals when it comes to capacity development. Yeah.
Wow, great. Thank you so much. Alignment, I think is very critical in everything. If there is no alignment, there is no start, or else it's going to fall through in between. So thank you so much for your effort as an organization and also supporting NEO to ensure that these goals are achieved. So thank you once again, Mr. Ayim. Mrs. Ayim Batoye, your organization is also a co-founder of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And basically your organization is driven by strategies to continually seek new groundbreaking, sustainable solutions and opportunities. And so how does NEO enables you to drive that principle beyond just your organization to the country as a whole?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. We recognize in my organization that the problems of Nigeria can be addressed through several means, but particularly through innovation and technology. And we also recognize that there are several talented Nigerians. And I'll tell you one of the ways we have expressed that faith in Nigerians. We have the CSP, the Conductor Support Platform, which my colleague mentioned earlier when she was speaking. That design, that particular technology was actually designed and fabricated entirely within Nigeria. And that goes to show our strong belief that Nigerians, we have the right talent. We just need the platform to put them forward, to build their skills, and to enable them compete internationally, or rather to the international standards. And so Olympiad gives us that opportunity to express that desire and that vision. And we want to take this beyond just the industry. I'll tell you again, let me just, all right, thank you. Let me just note that, reiterating what Madam Yetunde said, that indeed the CSP platform, which we, without sounding too immodest, which we designed, has actually become a reference in the industry. And it does 2 things primarily, amongst others. One is it enables efficient operations and reduces the cost of the barrels, which is what we all are striving to achieve in the industry. And number 2, it reduces our impact on the environment. And that really is another big thing that everyone in our industry is striving to achieve.
So fantastic. When potential innovation is starved of platform to thrive, it will die a natural death. And I think that is one thing First EMP is also doing, okay, from the explanation she gave, to ensure that innovations made by Nigerians for Nigerians thrive. And that is also apparent in the CSP example you gave. Thank you so much for that. And quickly, to the representative of Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Akinribido, your institution is dedicated to providing quality service aimed at enhancing professional competence and development. So please tell us why you have considered NEO's mission, okay, as a professional body.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. The Nigerian Society of Engineers is the umbrella organization for all engineers in Nigeria. There's no other. In the team of engineering team, you have the engineers, the technologists, the technicians, and craftsmen. The engineer leads the team, and that puts the responsibility through the NSC, the responsibility of developing our nation industrially, developing our nation in terms of engineering. That put that responsibility squarely at the shoulder of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So as engineers, as a society, we invest so much in capacity development. We invest so much in setting standards to make sure that engineering practice in Nigeria, measure up to, world standard by building a viable engineering culture, amongst our members. We have it as a mission, naturally, to make sure that we contribute to every effort that is geared towards technological development in Nigeria. That is, we help Nigeria to break out of being a third world country to maybe a second world country. And I believe that what the mission of the NEO is journeying toward is achieving that aim. So we believe that as a society, this mission will help to identify and nurture talents early enough. There are a lot of talents in the universities. But because there's no encouragement, a lot of, today as we speak, engineering is no longer the best that every student wants to do, right? Because there are no recognitions that follows even good performance in the field. I believe that through this Olympiad, recognition can come to those talents. They can see that if I put effort, I'll be recognized, and therefore, engineering may become the darlings of Nigerian students once again. Also, the Olympiad, we believe, will provide opportunity to bridge the gap between the industry and the university. As we speak today, the university run on a parallel line, the industry run on a parallel line. The NSC has been trying over the years to bridge the gap by making sure, we come with SIWES, for example, student industrial work experience, where when you leave the university at your 200 level, you are posted to industry.
Sure that I can be heard. So yes, there's no technical challenge. Systemic. So it depends on how you look at it. You see, the rep from NSC mentioned something. I read engineering, and in those days, engineering, I'm surprised whether things have moved. I can't relate. But in those days, if you are an engineering student, the way, we are seen and, I don't want to say certain things here, but, just to summarize to say that it's one of those courses that people aspire to. In fact, if you recall, as a young, they say, what would you like to be? Is it an engineer, accountant, or law, or doctor? Thank you. Those are the popular things. So if things have moved, we need to really work on that. And that's systemic things that you said. In my IT, we call it IT, industrial attachment. I did it in Kaduna, defense industry, where they make all this ammunition. I can never forget that experience where you had the opportunity. So if indeed now the Suez arrangement is not as what it used to be, there's a great opportunity to sort of plug that. But those are, various aspects depending on the various MDAs that they need to tackle. With respect to the Olympiad, we believe that the way it's been designed, when you heard what Michael said, is quite impressive because we are going nationwide. We are going, so even within the school, there's a competition before you now roll it to the regional, before you roll it to the national and stuff like that. And I didn't know why he didn't mention about, the prizes, related to that. Maybe that is coming later. There are great rewards, even, for the winners and the participants beyond other opportunities. So systemically, we believe that if NCDMB, we, tapping into this, especially we look at oil and gas industry, that's our mandate. We believe that rather than focusing on the outcome from the universities, go to the back end and do certain things to make sure that the products that are coming out from the university are such that they are almost field ready for them to participate in the industry. So we will look forward to that, time where the systemic issues are, trending down, such that when it comes to the curriculum, when it comes to the excitement for you to say, I am an engineer, or I want to buy jam form, and I want to feel engineering, that is what will really excite us and excite NCDMB. And we hope that we get to that point such that there's a mindset change in what people really aspire to do when it comes to engineering, and in fact, the entire STEM spectrum. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much for that answer. What I can pick basically is that the process is, I wouldn't say probably much more important than the outcome, because we focus more on outcome here, and most of the outcome don't really match the requirement of the industry. But now this NEO is taking us back to the process to ensure that the process is reworked in such a way that it exposes classroom knowledge with opportunity and support system that will ensure that they can live up to what is required at the industry level. Thank you so much for that answer. And also back to first year and P, you have been recruiting a lot of engineers in the past, and there have been several stories. We've gotten different feedbacks that some engineering graduates don't even know the difference between 7 mm wires and 9 mm wires, and a lot of stuff like that. And I was speaking with an engineer and he was telling me all they know is Laplace theory, and that's all they know. I said, okay, we are hosting a program that does that. So in your experience as an organization that recruits engineers mostly, a lot has been said about the gap between academic and the industry. And how do you see, going deep dive now, how do you see this program bridging this gap?
Thank you for that question. I'll start off by saying that we have a very strong internship program that we run every 2 years. And we've had some really good crop of engineers who have come through our system. And we dedicate a lot of time to train them. Indeed, I think Engineer Bamidele, when you were speaking, you said that only 5% of engineers who come out of university are industry ready. We have recognized that. We have brilliant, okay? All right, I'll start speaking. Okay, it's still echoing. All right, I'm sure they'll figure it out, but while they're working on, it's getting really bad. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so someone speaking earlier also said that when she came out of university, she thought the world was at her feet and she had learned everything she needed to learn, only to get into the industry, the corporate world, and realize that theory is different from practice. I mean, for example, they can tell you when you're building, I'm not an engineer, but I'm going to try and make an example that uses engineering. Try and imagine you're learning how to build a house, and all you're given is a theory. You dig the foundation, you put your whatever you put inside, you put how many pillars, size of rods and stuff. So you decide, you come out of school, I'm going to build you a house. And you dig the hole, and you put your rods. You have no clue how to identify the best kind of rods. You have no clue that you need waterproof, I'm being pretty good, ain't I? You need waterproof plaster. So you just build it, and you don't even recognize that there's certain peculiar things that you need to look for. For example, somebody in a house of a colleague, the plumbing that was installed was a new quote-unquote technology that was designed in one of our villages. I won't mention where. And what it did was, rather than flush the toilet, when you flushed, it came right back up because it didn't slant properly. And those are the little things that you may not be able to learn in school. So what Olympiad is going to do is refine the academic knowledge, make it practical so that our young people can respond with innovative, realistic technology designs that address the real problems. Right now, we can be pretty ideological and think, I can do anything. But because they would not understand the real problems, their intervention or the designs they propose may not address the real challenges. And that's one of the things that Olympiad will do, create the bridge. So real solutions will be preferred to address real needs.
Great, thank you very much. So thank you very much for that answer, because basically that is where we are right now, where the connection is. Beyond just the theory, making it very practical, making it very realistic, solving real problems. Because when correct needs assessment is not done, the solution will not be sustainable and will not be scalable. So thank you very much, because that's where we bridge. And the NEO is creating that support system in terms of technical mentorship, business mentorship, making sure that the solution that will be discovered will be market ready. And in between, there's going to be a lot of iteration to check if it is market ready, and if there are needs to tweak one or two things to make sure that it is market ready. So thank you so much for that. And let's quickly go to our NSC. And from an engineering standpoint, how has digital revolution disrupted engineering and provided extensive opportunities within the engineering value chain and innovation ecosystem?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. The value chain of engineering starts from design, gets to manufacturing, gets to operations, and then get to maintenance. The digital revolution has impacted every sector of that value chain. Today, we have technologies. The industrial revolution has made automation possible using AI. Repetitive tasks today can be easily automated, and that makes the process easier and scalable, either to increase and all that. We also have Internet of Things, that has given us a platform for connectivity. Today, people can work in different parts of the world, and they can work on the single project, testing, prototyping, and until they get to the final stage. These are all what the digital revolution has made possible. So it has created a sort of collaborative platform for engineers. I remember this started when COVID came, right? And a lot of people thought COVID was very bad for the world. But at the end of the day, today, we can work more remotely, right? Because we now have platform, for maybe as we're sitting here, they are watching us all over the world. Now, these are what the digital revolution has brought about. We now have what we call augmented realities, right? Before you even move from your design to real-life situation, you have something that's close to a real-life situation. You can use 3D to, produce your machine and test it. This is what digital revolution has done to the engineering. And I want to say that the engineers must not be left behind. We're trying our best, because as we speak now, the digital technology has more impact in even other sector maybe than the engineering. Take, for example, the financial sector, right? You will see, digital revolution happening there. Today now, everybody banks from the comfort of their home, right? And in engineering, we believe that in manufacturing, this can also impact so much, bringing productivity, bringing more work for us as engineers. I want to say here the notion that
program that is probably germane to your industry as oil and gas sector player.
All right, thank you very much. And I'll piggyback on what the last speaker had just said, because for us in the energy industry, we are witnessing the way engineering is practiced and the way we know it to be practiced. So the opportunity we see in the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad is to enable our young engineers begin to think about how these changes can affect the industry, and then how they can also be part of the innovation of solutions to some of the challenges that the industry faces, so that we don't get left behind in the global energy industry. So I think the opportunity we see specifically is that the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad will create that platform for young engineers to begin to look at how they can develop homegrown solutions that are applicable in resolving some of these challenges. So that's the opportunity we see. And like I said earlier on, it also fits very well with our objectives in aligning the industry and the academia.
That's an amazing answer. Thank you so much for that. Digitalization and sustainability, very, very critical in the oil sector. And solutions around such challenges will be highly welcome. So thank you so much. And let's just round up gradually. And so let me start from Mr. Kenechukwu again as we round up. Sorry, Mr. Emmanuel Ayim, thank you. As we wrap up, how important is cross-sector collaboration as we are experiencing today between funders, technical partners, and educational institutions in achieving sustainable outcomes for NEO?
So the importance of cross-sector collaboration, it really cannot be overemphasized. Like we collaborate, collaboration is a key part of our value as a company, as Renaissance. Of course, we need the industry, the academia, as well as funding partners to collaborate to enable those innovative solutions come to life. So innovations that don't have funding, may not see the light of day. And then for academia that is not funded or not given the opportunity to showcase some of their innovations would die a natural death. So we need that ecosystem of funders, educationists, as well as the industry to collaborate effectively in order for us to realize the objectives of the country in terms of being considered as one of the technologically advancing nations in the world, especially when it comes to the energy sector where we play at Renaissance. So I think collaboration is very, very important for us to bring to light anything that we intend to achieve, even through the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And that's why you see a cross-sector collaboration, a collaborative effort in order to bring this whole competition to life. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for the answer. There's a usual saying that if you go alone, you go fast, but if you go as a team, you go far. I think that's just the essence of cross-sectorial collaboration. And like I said, no nation can develop beyond the quality of its human capital, and cross-sectorial collaboration is a major driver to achieve that. So thank you so much for that. So let me go back to first T&P. So now that you and your organization, you and the organizations represented here are leading the vision, what one action?
Amplify them. And thirdly, I want to encourage the investors and entrepreneurs. to consider commercializing these innovative technologies that come out of these competitions so that it can grow beyond just competition.
Wow, great. Thank you very much. Someone usually said the next level of competition is collaboration. So I think it is critical for us to, every organization represented here, we all have a role to play in ensuring that engineering innovation is sustained, it is commercialized, and it is amplified, most importantly. Because there's something I usually say that whatever makes the loudest noise trends, whether good or bad. So let's begin to...
I think one of the things that we need to see, or we want to see, is to bring engineering back to the front burner in terms of maybe choice of courses, and that the engineering society is making impact, or the engineers are making impact in the society. Today, as we speak, engineers don't make so much noise, fine. But we need to change that through this kind of program to make sure that we can make all the noise, you know, with our innovation and all that. So we also believe that this will bring about problem-solving skill, you know, among our students. People can showcase their skill. We expect that at the end of the competition, there will be prototype developed, not just for the final product, but for all the other products that goes, at least that gets to the regional level. Now, with adequate publicity, we believe that people of interest can pick from those projects apart from the winner, because the industry are suffering. I operate in the industry as a trainer, and I know the challenges that they are looking for. They are looking for people who can offer solutions. The Chinas of this world has come in to fill the gap, because, you know, probably we're not making enough noise about those who are innovating, you know, among us. So if this is brought to the type, let there be prototype developed, let it be publicized and all that. And for us, we also believe that this also offers the opportunity for more interdisciplinary collaboration. Thank God we have Naseni here. There are other engineering-related, you know, organizations that can actually have one role to play or the other. And we also expect, you know, that the NSC will play more role, maybe in the scoring, for example, you know, play a leading role or supporting role with the scoring process. So for us, whatever is the outcome should also be scalable. All right. There should be commercial aspect of the project. You have a prototype. What does it take to translate to, you know, commercial product for the industry? And this should be done with, you know, some cost effectiveness and all that, and then ease of implementation. I want to say that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. Right. China today, they are where they are because they did not reinvent the wheel. What did they do? They took the wheel and improved and innovate on it. Even though the Western world were accusing them of stealing their technology, of they were this, but today they have surpassed those Western technologies. And I believe that it will bring innovation rather than research into what we do. We can, you know, customize the technology that are already in existence through this Olympiad to solve Nigerian challenges. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And let's have the final thoughts from the from Engineer Bamidele. So please share your final thoughts on the future of engineering innovation in Nigeria and the role this Olympiad can play in reshaping it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I would like to really take on board the point made by the last speaker around publicity. And I don't know whether Michael is not in the room. Please. Then our GM corporate communications too. Any good produced in this country by law, insofar as you want to use it within the oil and gas industry, the law says you must give it first consideration before you go and import. So in a situation where maybe out of this, We have some nice, great ideas, commercialized, and you want to use it in the oil and gas industry. By law, NCDMB is meant to protect those goods and ensure that they are utilized in country. Assets. If you have vessels, you have drilling rigs, or you produce anything out of this competition, and it is applicable, and I'm being careful about oil and gas, because I don't want to overstep. The law is very clear. You are set up to deal with oil and gas. So insofar any of the outcome from this Olympiad is scaled up and is applicable to the oil and gas industry, by law, we are supposed to make sure that that happens. So develop and utilize. The last part, the human side, which is where we come in with when it comes to all these our students. The Olympiad side, engineering Olympiad is the developed side of the spectrum when it comes to humans. So a lot of our energy and resources are focused on training. We want to move it back a bit, such that as people are passing through universities, because engineering, generally STEM, very key in the oil and gas industry, how do we make sure that we make it very popular? We're not against people that are non-technical, but we are very keen to make sure that the interest of our young folks, as we are buying JAM form or the poly JAM or whatever, feel engineering, feel any STEM-related activity, such that you are motivated, you are excited, you want to do that. And by the time you get to the point that you are graduating, the other part of utilize is also coming into place. By law, if we have qualified Nigerians, when it comes to employment, that is, you want to utilize the asset or the capital you've developed from the human side, by law, you have to give them first consideration, all in our law. So that is how all this tied together when it comes to how we see this Olympiad. Develop and utilize, whether it is the asset, whether it is the goods and services, and especially the human beings. Thank you.
Round of applause once again. So you've heard it all, and there is no excuse going forward in terms of support that is required for the Engineering Olympiad to thrive, and also support required to ensure that this program is known all over the world, using every platform that we have as organization and also as individuals. So once again, please join me to thank all our panelists. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Please give them a round of applause once again. So,
okay, so they'll be having a group photograph. Let the photographers quickly. Okay, let's quickly take this group photograph and this way better. Thank you. Just give way for the official photographer to take his own photograph. Thank you. That will be the official photograph that will be used as the official picture for the launch of the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad 2025. This is the official launch. So let's give them a round of applause as they go back to their seats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I would have loved for Engineer Abayomi, please don't go back. Please stay back. Director, sir, please step forward. We want to unveil officially the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. So we have two directors from NCDMB here, and they will be handling this together. So we are officially unveiling and declaring open the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad.
Thank you very much. I think we are getting to the real, a milestone of this event, the call for applications. And I believe you can still remember the roadmap shown by, Michael. So on behalf of the Executive Secretary, permit me to invite Madam President to come and do the official launch. Please clap for her. Please clap for her. She's been with us since morning, delivered the keynote, and I'm well trained as a public servant. She cannot be here, and we are trying to do something this big, especially when it comes to engineering. So on behalf of my principal, the Executive Secretary, Engineer Felix Omashola Ogbe, I hereby invite Madam President to launch the call for paper. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you very much. It's been a very great day, and I'd like to, before unveiling, to congratulate everyone who is here today, because we are part of history, definitely. And so, on behalf of the entire team, the sponsor, NCDMB, the funders, Renaissance Africa, and First E&P, and the technical partners, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I hereby declare the 2025
turn it off. Is it off now? No, turn it off first.
Okay, so please go online, click on that website, and register. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Please, let's give her a resounding applause. www.neo.org.ng. That is the official website for the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. And do well to make submissions on that platform. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually getting to the point where we would put our brakes to this event. But before we do that, we will take a demo on how this application would work. And doing this afternoon is a representative from Enactus, Nigeria. Please, let's make welcome Barry Bife Alagae. Let's give him a round of applause as he steps forward for the application demo. And while he's coming forward, I want to recognize the Central Engineering Manager, Renaissance Africa Energy Company, Mr. Banji Raimi. A round of applause. Great to have you with us. And also want to recognize Social Investment Manager, Renaissance Africa Energy. And he's also part of the NEO Steering Committee, Mr. Emmanuel Ayem. A round of applause. Great to have you. Great to have you, sir. So Barry Bife, you set, right? Oh, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Thank you all for being here today. So, standing on the existing protocol, I'd like to welcome everyone once again for being here, and to thank you all for taking time out of your day to come here for the unveiling of the Engineering Olympiad website. So, on any mobile device you have or desktop, you can type www.neu.org.ng to get access to the website, and this takes you to the landing page of the website where you can find more information about, where you can get more information about the Engineering Olympiad, you can get more information about the Engineering Olympiad, why it was created, and like our sponsors have said, what they hope to achieve with this program. You can also get a hyperlink to all our sponsor websites to get to know more about them, why they support this mission, and the general thought behind why this project was put together. So on another webpage here, we have the frequently asked questions. So from the students we have communicated with, these are curated questions and answers that talk about the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad and how you can go about the finals and the grand finale. You also have the eligibility checklist, which we put in there, so you check if you are actually eligible. And in any case, when you're not eligible for the competition, you can also pass it along to a friend. Who knows, both of you might become millionaires. Then project ideation tips, team collaboration, and the likes. So, but for now, we'll be going directly to how to apply. So to apply, you click on the submit application button, and this redirects you to an online form. So when we created this, one of the good things is for you to get the best user experience, it will be advised you do this over a desktop or a laptop. So that way you get more access to view the questions properly. And once you register with any email you use to do this, it records your progress as you keep going and saves it, while in any case, when like we had network issues recently, you can always come back and start it again. So the first section essentially talks about team information. So we want to know a lot about the team you're putting forward, the team name, the institution of the team itself. So here we have gathered all the accredited tertiary institutions in the country, and you just go through it and select. But in the rare case that your institution is not here, the next question gives you the opportunity to enter the full name of your institution. We also like to know the state which your institution is, and your team leader's full name and your team leader's contact details, essentially. This leads us to the next section of the application process, which talks about the team member details. So, as we all know, each NEO team is to be made up of a minimum of 2 members and a maximum of 3. So when creating this, for your team member details, you will notice that the second team member details is very much required, while the third one is not required, essentially because you must not have 3 team members. You can be fine with 2 if that works for you. So while my colleague fills this out, we'll wait for him. So on the next section, it talks about team member details. Like I stated earlier, the second team member details are required, and that's why you see the red asterisk by the side. Once you feel that, for the third team member details, it's not required because you must not have 3 team members. We can work very much well with 2. So while he fills this out, you wait and you get feedback of what's going on. Yes, so as stated, you can skip team member 3 if you don't have a third team member. So this is where it starts to get tricky. The project proposal. So for the project proposal, the first thing we would like to know is your innovation name. So whatever innovation you're putting forward, we would like to know the name of the actual innovation and what the concept name, whatever it may be, what you and your team have decided to call it going forward. We also have a brief description of your project. So here, as I stated earlier, it's tricky because you have to give us a very clear and concise information about your project while recognizing that this subsection has a character limit of 250 words. So I'd advise that you take your time, articulate your thoughts on paper, then come back online when you have these articulated thoughts together and fill this section of the form. We also have your what problem does your innovation address, which directly relates to your problem statement. So when this innovation was created, there's a particular problem you hope to solve, either in your community or society at large. We would like you to feel that the expected or current impact of the innovation. So on a large scale, would this innovation actively impact? You choose either if it's exclusive to you and your team or it's co-owned between different group members. If you have
and the time we've all been waiting for, I know from the looks on many faces, I know. If you've been waiting for this moment, say hi. Do you even know the moment? Do you even know the moment? Do you know what that is when I want to perform? Do you know what that is when I want to perform? I'll tell you something. I made a post sometime in March next, and she will be giving that remark. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the last round of applause you're going to be giving today, make it resounding for the manager, capacity building, Mrs. Alexis MLM. We call her Madam Alexis. A round of applause for her as she comes to give us the closing remark for today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. So, may I crave your indulgence in standing on existing protocol? So, are we all happy? Students, I want to hear from you. Are we all happy? I'm not hearing your voice because we are here for you. So, with what we have learned so far and everything that we have heard, starting from the ESC's speech given by our director, Engineer Bamidele Abayomi, and also other speeches that we've heard today on engineering and everything, I would want to ask a question. Have we not learned, not just from what we've heard, and even from the panel discussion where a lot of things were reeled out to us, have we not learned? I'll just give you a quote by one of the great American jurists. He said, "A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions." So with what we've heard today, I don't know for you, but I will say for me, as a lawyer in the midst of engineers, that my mind has been stretched by a new dimension. So we've heard, so we're here, we've had a life-changing moment here. We've heard how they said that engineering students are only 5% ready when they come out. We've heard they've said that engineering is the future, where we are going forward, looking forward to right now. So with all this, all I'm going to say is that what we have done here, especially for the students, please, please, please go and register. And why I'm saying register is because everybody's here to support you on this entrepreneurship pipeline. And you don't know that you may be the one that will come out being the number one in all this entrepreneurship pipeline. So as it is, we are beckoning on you, like the president of the NCE has said, Nigerian Society of Engineers, everybody is telling you. And then we've also opened up our NEO. Please go and register. Please, I would like to use this opportunity to thank all our technical partners, and I'm going to start in no particular order. First, EMP, thank you so much. It has been a rough, short ride with you, but I'm glad we are. Let us get back to where we are going safely. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And with that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we can say good night and have a safe trip back home. But before we step outside of the door, please listen to this announcement. Lunch will be served. Clap now. Yes. Before we start talking about engineering Olympiad, now who don't run? Now who don't chop, they do it, they run, yes. You don't run on an empty stomach. The same way a car does not run without fuel. So before we start Olympicing, we will eat. But distinguished ladies and gentlemen, lunch is going to be served in 2 different rooms. We have the Ochanya room, and that will be for guests, but partners will be having their lunch in the Acacia Hall. Okay, so there's just the same way this hall has a name at the entrance, you will see it also outside. There's an Acacia Hall that will be from everyone from the partners for the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad, while other guests can go to the Ochanya Hall. Thank you very much. We will be having 3 group photographs right away now. And the first one would be with all the representatives, just a single representative from all the partners for the Nigerian Engineering Olympiad. So just a single rep from NCDMB, from First ENP, from Renaissance, from NSE, and also from Enactus. Let's have that group photograph. Just one rep, just one rep. After this, we'll be having members and staff of the partners and sponsors of this event. Members and partners, you can join them up on stage now. Members and partners, please, let's come up on stage for the group photograph. Members and staff of NCDMB, Renaissance, First ENP, and staff of Enactus, and members as well of Nigerian Society of Engineers. Yes, everyone, everyone, everyone. I thought I could pull it. It's heavy. Right. And immediately after that, we'll be having all our special guests from Koren, from the Nigerian Academy of Engineering, and the Nigerian Universities Commission. Would also have a picture. Youth and Development, please come for a group photograph with our sponsors. We also need the rep of the Deputy Director, National Universities Commission. We also need the Deputy Director, Naseni, as well. So please join this. Committee of Deans of Engineering, please, we also advise that you go there. The Nigerian Academy of Engineering as well. All right, Enactus staff, all staff of Enactus. Enactus staff, please, if you're a staff of Enactus, make your way to the podium and let's have a quick photograph with the sponsors, with the representatives of all the sponsors here. Enactus staff, if you're a staff of Enactus, please, a group photograph has to be taken with Enactus staff. All Enactus staff. Raphael, Tolu, your attention is needed here. Befe. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a safe journey back home. Lunch will be served in this order. Acacia Hall is the hall for the lunch for partners. Ochaya Hall is the hall where lunch for guests will be served. Do not forget, partners, please go for your lunch at Acacia Hall, and guests, please go to Ochaya Hall for your lunch. Thank you very much.